What if the greatest warrior of the Trojan War met the world's most unstoppable conqueror? Get ready for a clash of titans, a battle that history was too scared to even imagine. On one side, we have Achilles, the legendary Greek hero, a demi-god fueled by rage, with a reputation that could make mountains tremble. He's fast, he's strong, and he has one very famous weakness he'd rather you not talk about. On the other side, Alexander the Great, the boy king who, by his early 30s, had conquered most of the known world. A military genius tutored by Aristotle himself, a master of strategy, and a leader who inspired unparalleled devotion in his men. So, who would win in a fight? The ultimate warrior versus the ultimate commander. Pure, unadulterated power against brilliant strategic genius. It's the classic brawl, brawn versus brains, but in this case, both sides have plenty of both. This isn't just a fight, it's a philosophical debate settled with swords and spears. We're about to break down their skills, their mindset, and their armies to figure out who would walk away from this legendary showdown. Let's set the stage. Imagine a vast, open plain, the kind of place where epic battles are born. A misty dawn breaks, revealing two figures. There, on his legendary steed Bucephalus, sits Alexander, his armor gleaming, his gaze fixed and calculating. His divine shield catches the first rays of sunlight, his expression a mixture of boredom and impatience. He's not the calm before the storm. He is the storm. Two men enter, one, a god-tier rage monster, the other, a prodigy with a plan that's just a little too effective for comfort. Alexander, ever the statesman even on the brink of battle, raises a hand in salute. He knows the stories, the myths. He's facing not just a man, but a legend. I have conquered kingdoms, he might say, his voice echoing with authority. But I have never fought a legend. Achilles would probably just crack his neck, a smirk playing on his lips. Legend, yes. Mortal, probably annoying. The pleasantries are over, the air crackles with tension. They begin to circle each other, one on horseback, one on foot, kicking up dust with every step. It's a cinematic standoff, the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object's slightly more strategic cousin. The first move is pure Achilles. A blur of motion, a primal scream. He charges, a human missile aimed straight at Alexander. He is chaos personified, every muscle coiled with divine power. But Alexander doesn't flinch. He's faced down elephants, routed armies 10 times his size. A charging demigod? It's just another tactical problem to be solved. With a slight smile, he twirls his spear and, with masterful precision, guides Bucephalus in a sidestep. The charge misses by inches. Achilles is pure, raw power. Alexander is controlled chaos. Think of it like the Hulk versus Iron Man, but with more sandals and significantly better hair. The battle truly begins. It's a whirlwind of action. Achilles is a one-man army, his spear a blur, his shield an unbreakable wall. He moves with a grace that defies his sheer strength. But for every one of his devastating attacks, Alexander has a counter. He uses his mobility on Bucephalus to his advantage, staying just out of Achilles' deadly reach, probing for weaknesses, analyzing his opponent's every move. It's not just a physical fight, it's a battle of philosophies. Achilles fights from the heart, his every swing fueled by passion and rage. A flashback might show him remembering the death of his beloved Patroclus, that searing pain giving his attacks a terrifying edge. He's fighting for honor, for glory, for a past he can't change. Alexander, on the other hand, fights with his mind. He recalls his lessons with Aristotle, principles of logic and strategy applied to the brutal art of war. He's not just fighting the man in front of him, he's fighting the next 10 moves. He anticipates, he adapts, he controls the battlefield. Somewhere up on Mount Olympus, the gods are probably placing bets. Zeus, with a soft spot for his heroic descendants, is likely putting a few drachmas on Achilles. Meanwhile, Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy, is probably whispering tactical advice directly into Alexander's ear. She always did love a dramatic plot twist. But this isn't just a one-on-one duel. Alexander the Great doesn't go anywhere without his army, the formidable Macedonian phalanx. Suddenly, the battlefield explodes with the sounds of marching feet and war cries. Thousands of soldiers, a forest of sarissas, those famously long spears, advance in perfect formation. It's a wall of disciplined steel, an army that conquered the Persian Empire. How can one man, even a demigod, stand against such a force? Well, if that man is Achilles, the answer is spectacularly. He doesn't meet the phalanx head-on. That would be foolish. Instead, he becomes a hurricane. He cuts through their ranks, a whirlwind of bronze and fury, using his superhuman speed and strength to disrupt their formations, turning their greatest strength, their unity, into a weakness. He's not fighting an army. He's dismantling a machine, piece by bloody piece. The scale of the conflict is immense. The battle rages across mountains and rivers. Achilles uses the terrain with brutal instinct, while Alexander directs his forces like a master chess player. In the chaos, a stray Trojan helmet, somehow displaced in time, rolls across the ground, a silent nod to the war that made Achilles a legend. Even after all this time, he is still the hero of Troy. Panting, his armor dented but his spirit unbroken, Alexander can't help but be impressed. "Your rage," he calls out across the din of battle. "It's unparalleled." Achilles, pausing for a breath, offers a rare smirk of respect. "And your math," he retorts. "I'll give you that." The brute force acknowledges the brilliant strategy. The armies fall back, and it comes down to them once more. A final duel in cinematic slow motion. Swords clash, sparks fly, and the very ground seems to shake with the force of their blows. They are perfectly matched in a way no one could have predicted. Achilles' divine speed is countered by Alexander's flawless footwork. Alexander's tactical feints are met with Achilles' warrior instincts. At this point, historians are probably crying, and somewhere in the Elysian fields, Patroclus is face-palming, yelling, "Bro, just chill for a second." It becomes clear to both of them. Brute strength alone can't overwhelm perfect strategy. And perfect strategy can be disrupted by unpredictable, divine power. They stand apart, chests heaving, weapons lowered. A silent understanding passes between them. Not of defeat, but of respect. They've each met their equal, a mirror image of their own greatness, reflected in a different form. The warrior and the king, the rage and the reason. They realize that some forces aren't meant to destroy each other. Sometimes even legends need to agree that epicness is better when it's shared. And what's more epic than the two of them? On the same side. Imagine the cinematic montage. Alexander at the head of his phalanx, pointing his sword towards a new, unseen enemy. And at the vanguard, a single, unstoppable champion, Achilles, ready to cut a path for the army to follow. We see epic slow-motion shots of spears being thrown, swords clashing, dust and fire filling the screen as they combine their strengths. Alexander's army provides the overwhelming force and strategic control, while Achilles acts as the ultimate special operative, the tip of the spear that can break any line. The enemy, whoever they might be, Persians, mythical beasts, an army of the undead, you name it, doesn't stand a chance. They collapse, they break, they are utterly annihilated in a final, triumphant explosion of cinematic glory. So, who wins the initial fight? Achilles' brute rage or Alexander's genius? The answer is maybe neither, or maybe both. History was never prepared for a crossover event of this magnitude. The real winner is anyone who gets to witness it. But the story doesn't quite end there. Cut to a post-battle scene. Alexander the Great, conqueror of the known world, is patiently polishing Achilles' armor. Achilles, leaning against a rock and looking thoroughly unimpressed, sneers, "Next time, I'm picking the battlefield." Even in victory, some things never change. What did you think of this legendary showdown? Who do you think would have the ultimate edge? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more epic battles where gods, demigods, and historical geniuses collide, make sure you smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to join us for more legendary myths. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next chapter of history that never was.